Today we'll start a new series in geography, that is geography through maps. So in this particular series, we'll go ahead and see what are the 7 different continents on earth and what are the 5 different oceans surrounding this continent area. Then we'll go ahead and see respectively about American subcontinent, where we'll speak about North America, Central America and South America separately. So let's get into the video. So this is the globe structure. We can see from this picture that it is not an exact circle. We have almost like a geoid or a spherical shape. So it is a spherical or geoid shape structure. Okay, and towards the polar area we can see that the area is horizontal. You can see here, this is northern pole, this is southern pole, and towards the equatorial region we can see that area is almost like a vertical. To some part we can see equatorial or subtropical starting area. In the northern and the southern hemisphere we can see the sides are almost like vertical lines. You can see here. Okay, now we will identify what are the 7 different continents in India, in the world. Okay, first one is that Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, and towards the southern part of the continent and the entire globe we can see Antarctica. So what are these 7 different continents on earth? We have Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia and finally Antarctica. Now we will see, so these are 7 continent areas we have on earth. So there are around 5 different oceans. We know that all the oceans are connected, then also we call it by different names depending upon which region they situate. So these 5 oceans are surrounding or facilitating the process of these 7 continents. We will see what are these 5 oceans. So this is the west and east side. Towards the western side of the globe we have Pacific Ocean. So we have North Pacific Ocean here, we have South Pacific Ocean, and in between Europe, Africa and towards the North America, South America, in between we have an ocean which is called Atlantic Ocean. So we have Atlantic Ocean, okay, and near the India we have obviously Indian Ocean. And towards the eastern part if you see, so we know that earth rotates from west to east, and if you are seeing from the eastern part we can understand that east and the west share the same ocean, that is Pacific Ocean. So towards the eastern side of the globe and towards western side of the globe we have Pacific Ocean. Okay, now we will have a political map which is marked with all this. In this we can locate clearly Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia and Antarctica. We can also locate the 5 different oceans here, that is Pacific Ocean, North and South, North Atlantic Ocean, South Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean continuation here. This is east and this is west, this is south, this is north, we have Arctic Ocean and we have Southern Ocean. Okay, these are the 5 different oceans. Now let us understand an important thing. We always heard that Pacific Ocean is decreasing in size and Atlantic Ocean is increasing in size. Okay, what does this mean? So this is precisely mean that Pacific Ocean there is subduction or destroyal of sea floor is happening, whereas Atlantic Ocean we can see new floor is or sea floor spreading is happening. Okay, this happens because of 2 types of plate boundaries. Okay, in Pacific Ocean we have subduction zone or a subduction boundary where a heavier plate will subduct a lighter plate. That means heavier plate will be ahead or on top and lighter plate will be going ahead like this. Okay, whereas in Atlantic Ocean we have mid-Atlantic ridges. Okay, we can map here. We can see something like an S shape here in the Atlantic Ocean, that is a mid-Atlantic ridges. From this part we can see here, from this part new sea floor is coming. Okay, this is mid-Atlantic ridge where sea floor spreading is happening. And Pacific Ocean we have an area, entire area is called as a name by ring of fire. Ring of fire means always those plates and margins are tectonically active. We can see a lot of volcanoes and earthquakes in that area because this area border is tectonically active. What happens here is that because of the activation of tectonic plates and continuous movement there is molten magma under this layer, and this molten magma will be coming out as lava. Okay, this we will be knowing that inside the earth we have molten magma, the same item or the same thing, when it comes out it is called lava. So into the Pacific ring of fire, subduction area happens and area of the entire Pacific Ocean decreases year by year. So we can locate ring of fire like this. Okay, now let's get into our main part of discussion, that is American subcontinent. In American subcontinent, we can divide the entire area politically and geographically into three different parts, that is North America, Central America or Middle America and South America. So this is called North America, and from Mexico, North America consists of Canada and US. Okay, Mexico is not part of North America, it is part of Middle America. So from Mexico till Panama, West Indies and all this Cuba, all these countries or areas will come under Central or Middle America, and this is Central America and this is South America. So we are talking about American subcontinent now. American subcontinent is divided into three different parts, that is North America, Central America and South America. Now let us understand the political map of American subcontinent. We can see from here, this is North America, this is Central America, this is South America. We can see three different political divisions or three different states in the North American continent. Okay, we have Canada, we have United States and we have Mexico. Okay, we can see here this area is called Alaska. Okay, and this is, even though geographically it is a part of Canada, Alaska is politically a unit of United States, so it belongs to US. Okay, and this area is called Middle America, as we have discussed. Okay, Mexico, Belize, Honduras and many countries are there, we will come to that later, and this is South America. Now while we understand the continent and the areas, let us understand the surrounding areas also. Okay, so when we see North America or South American continent, we know that towards the western part of the continent what we have Pacific Ocean, North Pacific Ocean, South Pacific Ocean, and towards the eastern part of the continent what we have Atlantic Ocean, we have North Atlantic Ocean and we have South Atlantic Ocean here. Okay, and we can see a major land piece there which is called Greenland. Greenland is not part of, even though physically it is attached to this land, it is not part of America, it is part of Europe. We will come to that later. So this is almost like a political divisions of American subcontinent. Now we will move towards precisely North America. So North America consists of Canada, this is US, Mexico, this part is Alaska, this is under political jurisdiction of United States. And towards the western side we have Pacific Ocean, towards the eastern side we have Atlantic Ocean. Okay, here we have Central America. Okay, and towards so this is south, north, west, east. Towards the northern part of the North America what we have? Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean is not one of among the continents. We have to understand it very clearly that Arctic Ocean, there is no landmass that is calculated under the different continents. Antarctic Ocean, but at the same time Antarctica called a continent is added among the 7 different continents. Next we will understand few physical features with regards to North America. So we can see that Arctic Ocean is here, North Pacific Ocean, South Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. Okay, this is there. Whereas towards the north eastern part of Canada we can see Baffin Bay. Baffin Bay it is called because this area is called the Baffin Island. So it is called Baffin Bay, and we have Hudson Bay here. Okay, this is an area very important. It is called Newfoundland. So what is the importance of Newfoundland with respect to Canada? This is a place that is very rich in fishing because there is a convergence or there is a confluence of 2 different ocean currents, that is warm and cold ocean currents. We have Labrador cold ocean currents coming from the north. So you can see from here there will be Labrador cold ocean currents coming, and from this side of the continent we have Gulf, that is a warm current is coming. So, a place where cold current and warm current meets, this will be a good ground for fishing. So, fishing industry flourishes there towards a Newfound Island, very important industrial area for America. And we have Gulf of Alaska here. Gulf of Mexico, because this country, we have Mexico, okay. We have Caribbean Sea here. Caribbean islands are there and Caribbean Sea is there in the Central America. Central America consists of West Indies and Caribbean Sea or Caribbean islands. Now we will move towards a more detailed understanding about North America. So we know that towards the northern part of the North America, what we have Arctic Ocean. Towards southern part of the North America, what we have South Pacific Ocean, and towards the southeastern part we have Central America. So the South Pacific Ocean, and towards the western part clearly what we have Pacific Ocean, towards the eastern part we have Atlantic Ocean, okay. And we have told about Greenland. Greenland is a land which is physically attached to American continent, but politically and administratively it is not under America, it is under Denmark. We will read about that in detail when we talk about Europe, okay. We can look at Baffin Bay here, Hudson Bay, James Bay, Great Lakes, okay, and Gulf of Alaska. Because of the Alaska area here, Alaska is under the jurisdiction of US. And we have Bering Sea here. So Bering Sea and Bering Strait is almost towards the western tip of the American continent. After that you can start counting for Asia, okay. Then we have Gulf of California. This area is Gulf of California. We have Gulf of Mexico and Labrador Sea. This is the Newfoundland. We know that cold ocean current is coming called Labrador current, and warm Gulf Stream is coming here, joining here, making good fishing ground, okay. Newfoundland, important for fishing. And that area where a cold current and a warm current meet, that area will be very much difficult for navigation to happen, because there is a lot of steam and there will not be any clear climatic situation where a navigation of ship or movement can happen. So that is a drawback there. Now we will understand about the physical features of this continent, okay. We can see clearly Brooks Range is there in Alaska, okay, and the main mountain which runs across Canada, US and Mexico, that is Rocky Mountains. We can see Rocky Mountains here. Rocky Mountain starts almost from Alaska, it passes to the western part of the continent and reaches almost till Mexico and towards the Caribbean islands. Now let us understand why western part of the continents are always dry or maybe a desiccating effect, and some places we can even see deserts in the western part of the island, western part of the continent. Why it happens? Because there are two main reasons. First thing is that cold ocean currents will be passing through the western margins of almost all the continents. This gives a desiccating effect because air is dry, there is high pressure, so there is no rainfall and there is dryness, and because of that a desiccating effect will be given to the land also. Second reason is that the winds that is carrying the northeast or easterly winds originating from the northeast or the eastern part of the continents will be traveling towards the western part of the continent. So by the time it reaches towards the border of the western area or towards the western tip of the continent, all the air will be dried out and moisture content will be very, very less. This results in giving desiccating effect. Thereby we can see that western part of the continents, almost all the continents have a desert or a desiccating area. Towards, here we are talking about Rocky Mountains. Rocky Mountains is there in the western part of the North American continent, which starts from Alaska, passes through Canada, which moves towards US, and finally it merges with Mexico and moves towards the Central American or the Caribbean islands. When we have Colorado Plateau here, Great Basin, okay, we can see here Canadian Shield. Canadian Shield is very important for Canada and for the North American continent because it is a part of the pre-Cambrian era where we can discover a lot of minerals from this area now. So for minerals and for import-export purpose, this area is very important for Canada, industrial purpose. Okay, we can see towards the north, we can see towards the southeastern part, Appalachian Mountains to the southeastern border of the North American continent. Appalachian Mountains are here. Okay. Then Edward Plateau, Great Plains, Baffin Islands, Hudson Bay. So this is almost like physical features are covered in the North American continent. Now let us understand few details about Canada. Okay, Canada is a country in the northern part of the North America. We know it consists of 10 different provinces and 3 territories extended from Atlantic to the Pacific and northward into the Arctic Ocean. What does that mean? It starts from the Atlantic in the east, stretches towards the Pacific in the west, and almost ends to the Arctic in the northern part, the land area. It is the second largest country by total area, but not by population. Most of the areas in Canada are rarely or sparsely populated because of the climatic regions and the topographic regions. We'll get into that later. So not according to the population, we know that. According to the area, this Canada, second largest country. Southern border with the US and stretching around 8,000 kilometers. World's longest binational land border shared by Canada and US. Okay. Capital of Canada is Ottawa. Okay. And there are 3 major cities of the world located in Canada are Toronto, Montreal and Vancouver. Vancouver is famous, we can see from the map here. This will be towards the western side of this side. Okay. This Vancouver is famous because of the timber industry, okay, or the lumbering industry, we can say it, okay. Because of that, the availability of water and rivers are there. Lumbering industry flourishes in the Vancouver area. Then we have it is sparsely populated. I just told you it is a sparsely populated area. Majority of its land area being dominated by forest or tundra, the vegetation there. Okay. Population is highly urbanized with 80% of its inhabitants concentrated in large and medium sized cities, 70% residing in 100 kilometers of the southern border. Canada's climate varies widely across its vast area, ranging from Arctic weather in the north to the hot summers in the southern region with 4 distinct seasons. So it experiences almost all kind of weather, Arctic weather to the northern pole and almost towards hot weather in the southern part of the Canada because it shares border next with the US. So since US have this tropical climate experiences, we can expect that Canada's southern part also will have this tropical climate experiences. While we see about US is divided into 50 different states in it. Okay, and 50th and 49th state is Alaska and 50th state is Hawaii Islands. We'll come to that later. So with regards to this 50 different states, we can see here Washington is there in the western coast of the US continent and California we have, and Hawaii, Alaska actually comes here and Hawaii comes here. Okay, we have Florida here. Towards the southeastern part of the continent or from the US we can hit Florida. Florida is important because Sea of Florida and Gulf of Florida are associated with this extension of land. There's a tail like extension you can see here. Okay, Sea of Florida and Gulf of Florida is related to this area. New York is there in the, so Washington is there in the western coast and New York is there in the eastern coast of the continent. Now let us understand few facts about US. US is commonly known as United States or simply America. So even though we say for the entire continent it as America or American continent or North America, South America, normally across world when a person talks about America, people points it is for US or United States of America. Country consists of 50 states as we discussed, a federal district, 5 major self-governing territories and various possessions. It is the world 3rd or 4th largest country by total area, slightly smaller than the entire continent of Europe. Most of the country located in the North American between Canada and Mexico. So we know that out of 50 states, 48 is mainland together, that is between Canada and Mexico in the south, and 149th is there in the Alaska, that is towards the western tip of North American continent next to Canada and almost near to Bering Strait and Bering Sea, that is near to Russia or Asian subcontinent. And 50th state is Hawaii. Hawaii is an island. When Hawaii we can mark like this, if we have Alaska here, okay, Hawaii is almost lies in the same longitude, Hawaii. Okay. Estimated population of US is 327 million people and US is the 3rd most populous country. Capital is there in Washington DC and most populous city is New York City. It is a very highly developed country. Lot of export and import industries are located with the US and we know that almost all entire wealth of the entire world is concentrated in the US and depending upon their currency and their dollar movements. Okay. World's largest economy by nominal GDP, second largest by purchasing power parity, and accounts for approximately a quarter of global GDP. So, world's largest importer and second largest exporter of goods by value. That's all for today. Hope this helps. Thank you.